So your time at Notre Dame comes to an end. Did you know that the NFL was a possibility?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, they had contacted me. Green Bay had called and said, "We got the first pick," and he said, "We think we're going to take you." So they kind of alerted me to that I didn't really believe that was going to happen, but it did. So when here comes the draft, I was the first pick of the draft, 1956 from the 56 group. So the only thing I had before that was the All-Star game in Chicago, which John Arnett was there and Brody was there. And so we all played in the All-Star game together. And I had Ron Kramer, who was an All-American in basketball and football at Michigan. He was on the football squad there at the All-Star. And we drove to Green Bay together. I was the bonus pick in the draft that year, and he was the first pick for the Packers. So we went from the All-Star game in Chicago and drove up to Green Bay together to go to training camp, and became the best of friends, of course. And he was my best friend with the Packers.
When you got to the Packers, Coach Lombardi was not the head coach at that time.
No, that's right. Yeah. I can't even tell you right now. I'm trying to think who the hell it was.
Blackburn?
No. He was right after my coach got fired. My second year, and then Lombardi came in, and but anyway, the coaching thing is such a menagerie. And everything happens there. For heaven's sakes, I don't remember half the stuff.
When Vince Lombardi came in, there was a culture change.
Oh, it was a tremendous culture change. He changed the whole scenario, for heaven's sake. You did it his way. He was a strong. He was like, I had known Bear Bryant, and I had watched him and studied him, and he was a lot in that vein. He was the boss, period. And Lombardi was the same way. Nobody had a voice in that organization that was higher than Vince Lombardi as far as the Packers were concerned. And we found out right away what that meant, as players. He established his authority immediately. And we had to understand that, we were going to do it his way, as simple as that. And and I think, really, when you think of great coaches in college and in the pros, if they're very successful, that's the way they think. They're tremendously high people. You have to understand that.
With Coach Lombardi coming in, the Packers had struggled a few years before that, and culture change needed to happen, and that's what he was all about. And the interesting thing to me is a lot of those pieces were already in place and already on the roster. Bart Starr was already there. You were there. Jim Taylor was there. Ron Kramer was there.
Yeah, we were all drafted before he came. Yeah, I don't think he had too much to say on draft choices as far as we were concerned. Naturally, he had a lot to say about the Packer choices after he got there, but just the names that you mentioned, we were already there, and playing on a losing football team, He straightened all that out. He saw the way. I think he came in. He told me a few times. I could see we had some talented football players, but all they needed to do would be instructed to do the right thing at the right time.
That's exactly what he brought, was a system